Here we go. All right, cool, dude. So we are live on, where are we going? YouTube, and I'm just waiting to go live on Instagram. But in the meantime, Ryno, Theron, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Coffee and Conversations with Champions. It's the powerlifting edition, and it's the special edition, Our Road to SA's 2025. Thank you, dude, and thank you for being so flexible with your time.
Oh, no problem at all. Appreciate the opportunity to get a chat a bit and talk some powerlifting and whatever else comes up.
And I think powerlifting and also Natal, because just while we were chatting before we went on air, you were mentioning something. We already got Frank the Tank watching, so there we go.
Oh,
Thank you, Frank.
there we go.
First in line. And you were mentioning just something that you had done quite special for the Natal team. Not to embarrass you, but can you tell us a little bit about that? What you and your wife got up to for the team?
Yeah, so my wife a while back said that her work might be interested in doing a bit of a sponsor towards the team, and we were wondering like what would work well. I originally thought of doing like some hoodies for the team because I remember at provincials there was we were expected to wear tracksuits and stuff with the prize giving and so on. And I chatted to Amelia about that, and then she actually suggested, "What if we do tracksuits?" And then that seemed to be the logical path to take. And
That's awesome.
I'm quite involved with my music and stuff as well. So I have a contact that does merch for the bands and acts that I'm part of. From 13 Stone clothing, and it was just a great opportunity to marry those worlds together. So my wife did manage to get a pretty decent sponsor from a company, local real estate. And
so tell us a little bit about the company. Let's give them some publicity. I mean, they certainly deserved it.
Oh, they're a real estate company based in Ballito. They're very much about community and supporting community and helping.
Okay.
I know
they're commercial, residential, both letting, sales?
Both, mostly residential, I'd say, but I do know they do some commercial stuff as well. And my wife is part of the management team there. So
okay.
Yep.
So sorry, go on.
I'm going to go thumbs up from that. So and they were very gracious to give a pretty decent sponsorship towards it, the tracksuits, which actually helped cut off a lot of the costs. My brother very kindly as well, ready to run, did a little contribution, and I just did something from our side as well. Awesome. I can't always, with the club stuff, I don't always have a capacity to be one of the spotters or something like that. So I thought this would be a way to contribute.
It's a very smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Less work. So we got to give you one of these, man. Thank you so much for organizing that.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we're doing now for World Masters, which is going to be in Cape Town, is I've set up a lifestyle channel a couple of years ago, and it really hasn't gotten much love. And we're growing that, and we're speaking to the international athletes about that. And what we'd like to do, the idea behind it is all good lifestyle stuff. So whether it's property or cars or boats or clothing or music or cigars, haven't considered whiskey yet because I've been sober for 18 years. But I think that's something we can manage. But what I'd like to do, if your wife is up for it, we can chat to her company just as a way of saying thank you on the Lifestyle Channel about Ballito, property in Ballito, because I first got to Ballito in 1990, and it was quite different. I mean, the caravan park was still there, and those beaches are stunning, and I've been down with mates fishing and catching massive rays, catch and release, and from the rocks, the Sharka rocks, literally walking down with the rod to the beach. I mean, those fishermen are absolutely nuts, the surfing. So if they're happy to do that, we'd love to. We can chat after the podcast and just give them a little bit of airtime and showcase. We'll put that out to the international lifters as well as the South Africans. It's a great place to go and spend time. Umhlanga is lovely. It's got my heart. But it's gotten a little bit busy and metropolitan. It's not the little town that it was many years ago.
Yeah, Umhlanga grew quite rapidly over the years, and Ballito very much as well. It's,
I mean that the whole top, but I think like a lot of Ballito, the top, that development is up at the top. And
Yeah.
of course, one of the reasons to go to the bottom, I believe there's ice creams and waffles there that might be quite good, if I'm not mistaken. There
I'll
used to
have
be
to
an
check
ice
that
cream
out.
parlor, a milkshake. Listen, that was pre-COVID. Oi, that's not good news. I hope they're still there.
Yeah.
So, but let's chat about your lifting and a little bit of your background. Ryno, tell us a little bit who you are. Who is Ryno? What does Ryno do?
So I come more from a musical background. I've always been involved in the music scene in
Your
some way or
audio is
another.
epic. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. um, and yeah, that's always been a big passion of mine. But I've always enjoyed doing a lot of sports and things like that as well. Always tended to more like, excuse the cliche, but like extreme sports
Mm-hmm.
or things like that.
You're in Natal. It's a given.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, everything from rollerblading. By that I mean with the handrails and the ramps and stuff
Sure.
like that. And played ice hockey for a while, which I really enjoyed. And then rugby in school, obviously, and that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But getting a bit older, my 40s now and everything, and also with music, I've got to consider my hands. So like a lot of those sports weren't, quite the best options for that. So
No.
came across powerlifting a couple of years back. Did two push pull competitions, I think probably about 5 years ago, but couldn't really commit to it. I was quite busy with my music then, and also probably just mentally it wasn't the right place at that point. It was cool, it was fun to do, but the last year and a half I've put in a lot of effort, and also since hooking up with the KZN powerlifting bunch, led by Amelia and all that,
Yep.
that was just a whole different vibe, and kind of lit a fire under my ass. Excuse the language, but yeah, and that was just a game changer, and realizing there were actually some opportunities like provincials, because that's one of the problems with a lot of more niche sports in the country is there's not always much competition or a
Yeah.
path forward. But seeing how South African powerlifting and KZN powerlifting has been growing, it definitely gave motivation. If you've got motivation, then you got something to push towards. So yeah, it's been an exciting journey
100%.
so far.
That's awesome. So, how did you find the sport? Was it just part of your normal strength training that picked up, or what got you into the push pull and then into
Yeah. Um,
SAPF?
always enjoyed weight training, whether it was preparing for sports like the ice hockey or just wanting to build a bit of muscle or whatever. Um,
Ice
and
hockey, you need muscle.
yeah, well, there we
You got
go.
to
That's
take
the
that
thing.
impact.
And I took a couple of hits of that. It was good fun. But so yeah, and then the place we stayed at previously before this place was a bit of a family friend of ours, and he had a gym there and everything, so I could train a bit more regularly and so on. And I don't know what happened. Just one day, I started trying deadlifts properly for the first time, because it was always more like bodybuilding type
Yeah.
training that I did before, and it felt pretty good. And it's like, okay, well, this isn't bad, and then you hit a plateau, and I'm like, okay, let me try a mixed grip at, and then picked up a bit more there, and then I've like just remembered this word powerlifting, I suppose, that I've seen over time on the internet or whatever. And then I followed it. I was just like, well, this is actually something that I can do. Um, aside from a couple of calluses and stuff, which I already had from work, it's not going to hurt my fingers too much unless I drop a weight on them. So I thought, yeah, this is cool. If I pull a back or a hamstring or something like that, that's fine. I can still do my music as long as my
Yeah.
hands are good. I just fell in love with it very quickly. And here we are.
That's awesome. The thing, by the way, just talking about protecting your hands, don't get involved in spotting and loading. People will understand that. I've seen in Hong Kong when we were working with the team there, day one, broken finger. Not me, one of the other team members. I got mine clipped as well. And so stick with the lifting and the music, not the spotting and loading.
Yeah, spotting's a different ballgame. Especially, I'm sure most of us have seen the video of the dude that threw the 400 kg off his back or whatever. It's like, that's disgraceful.
In Hong Kong, we had a couple of the lifters. I won't mention the countries, but
yeah,
and Roelof Smith, Harney Smith, the SAPF chairman, his nephew was the team captain, and he said, "Watch now, he's going to dump it." and
Yeah.
because they're quite renowned. It's a country that came from a very strong weightlifting background, and weightlifting they
Yeah.
dump the bar. So it's just
Yeah.
part of the lifting culture. And I think those habits, when you start weightlifting as a kid and then go into powerlifting, but he dropped the bar, I think it was about 360 or 380. And
Yeah.
you're catching that in midair. But Drulov caught him, grabbed him, and pulled him back into the bar. And we
Good.
racked the bar with him on it. So
Yeah.
that was, he learned his lesson. You're
Yeah.
catching that amount of weight in midair, but you want a good team with you. And like the South African team is epic. So yeah,
That's good spotting that. Yeah. That's insane.
keep the hands safe. So tell us about your first SAPF comp. Where was that? What was that involved in?
Oh, I'm not sure if this would count, but I'm sure it would because it was within KZN powerlifting. So it was one of the club comps.
Yes. So
Ironically,
anything under KZN powerlifting.
Yeah. So it was ironically a push-pull again. I think it was in May. It was like a Star Wars theme, May the 4th, and all that.
Oh,
that was
epic. That's
epic. The medals were absolutely amazing. Those medals that they organized were just insane. And so that was a pretty cool comp. It felt good. Prep and everything leading up to that was good, and that was sort of my first experience. And I just saw like this is a pretty this is a better unit to work with. It's very well organized, and it felt like there was something to push towards. It wasn't just random events or anything like that. Then I got to know a lot of the people, obviously, Amelia. I got to know her a little bit before that because she was very helpful leading up to that. Met a lot of cool lifters there, met a couple of good friends and so on. And then the next one, I think we did at Harlequins, which was on the Bluff. That was also a club competition, but that was my first full meet I ever did.
So on the Bluff is obviously lifting and fighting. So
yeah, always fighting. Oh, there was strongman going on the field, which was pretty cool. I didn't see a fight there, but I've seen a lot of fights on the Bluff. So
rough and tough and from the Bluff.
Yeah, 100%. But so that was my first full meet. So that was a pretty good day. I was quite happy with that. It got a 9 out of 9, which was really good. Like
epic.
Got a couple. Yeah.
But that's very cool.
Yeah, got a couple of PRs and stuff, but also just having an experience of having a full meet. Realize how depleted you can get with deadlifts at the end of the day. So that was quite a nice learning curve. That took notes for
literally
food.
Can take you out for 10 days. It
it's crazy.
That hammers your nervous system.
Yeah. So that was now my meet before provincials. There was another club meet before that, but I decided to sit that one out just to prep for provincials. And then
that's awesome. So
that's
now
3 with KZN powerlifting now.
Okay, epic. And this year was early January provincials, and epic venue, epic location. I mean, a venue that Moses Mabhida Stadium that brings so much history with it, and you're sort of in there going, who's walked these halls, and it's a lovely venue. What did you think of the comp?
It was absolutely amazing. It was the second comp I did at Prime at Moses Mabhida there. Really enjoyed. I've done 2 competitions there now, like I said, and those are really cool because the warm up areas are great. We've got, as we all know, at local meets and stuff, it can be a bit tricky with warm up areas. They've got a really cool warm up area. Lots of squat racks and good quality equipment to work with and warm up with.
And fantastic bathrooms and great coffee.
100%. Very good coffee, very good muffins and all sorts of stuff there.
Yep.
But it was just, in my opinion, a very well-run event. I think Amelia and you guys that came through as well just did such an amazing job. I mean, the watching the coverage and the footage afterwards is like, that was really nice. It's nice to be able to look back on that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, we love it.
Meeting Heather as well was really cool. And being judged by such a high-level judge, you know, that kind of prepares you for, I suppose, what to expect with essays.
That's the whole idea behind it. To bring, it's to bring the international level competition to essays. And to bring essays to provincial. So provincial, you can have a little bit more fun because there are a lot more new lifters. but you want to make sure that that standards upheld. I mean, there was some old guy running around the back there shouting at people to take their caps off, and they couldn't wear slip-slops. I mean, really, you know, they had to wear sports shoes. No idea who that is.
Yeah, you got my brother as one of your victims.
Yeah.
but I've tried to
very
teach him
sweet about it, though, huh?
No. I've tried to teach him ages ago to be a grown up. I've had at music venues and stuff where I got to try keep him in there because he's always got shorts and slops on and stuff. And and he's the older brother. Funny enough.
He's the older brother. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Well, please tell your but we say hi and thank you for being so polite about it. All right, awesome. So, how did that comp go for you? What was that like?
I qualified, which was really cool. I planned to, I think, qualify on my openers, which I did. So that was good planning, and it went well. I was a bit bummed. I could have made some better calls. I had numbers that I already had for nationals in mind, and as we know in powerlifting, you shouldn't think that far ahead, and you definitely don't never work backwards from numbers.
Yeah.
But I'm quite stubborn. So the squats went pretty well. Obviously, that was a bit nerve-wracking at the time because now different level of judging and depth and everything is going to be a factor. So I hurt my wrist on the unracking of the first one, funny enough. I unracked a bit unevenly. Got the lift though, that was cool. Second attempt was good. Last attempt, oh man, it was close. But there again, I should have maybe gone for a 2.5 or 5 kg jump. The 7.5 jump, I think it was, that I took was perhaps just a bit too much. It hit a sticky point, and we all know that 1 or 2 kgs can make a big difference in that point.
World records are broken on half a kilo.
Exactly,
and they exist for years on half a kilo.
There we go. And bench I was probably the most disappointed about because I prepared really hard for it, and I was feeling good and strong. But I've always got this thing, like, I'm not sure if I should get assistance with unracking and stuff. It's got nothing to do with the spot of doing it for me. It's a thing with me. So I think in future I'll unrack myself. I unracked on my final attempt, which made up for my second one that I missed. But I moved feet and everything in the second attempt as well. But definitely some chamomile tea before the next next competition. Yeah, I was 100%. All over the show with that. And then the deadlifts also didn't go as planned. The opener went well. My second attempt, for some reason, I got to the knees. Usually if I get to the knees, I can get it up. In training, that weight moved really well. But like I said, I qualified easily. I wanted to qualify my openers. I qualified. And I think a big part of the problem for that meet is, like, I like to work with what I call killer instinct. So like, if you have a reason to make a big lift, chances are you'll probably get it. But if it's not that serious at that point, then you might not grind as hard as you normally would. So I think there was a lot of that going on as well. But all in all, happy. Wasn't bad. It was about 2.5 off my total PR. I got a little squat PR. So there was good stuff to take out of it. Yeah.
You know, and again, the reason that provincials exist is to go to nationals. And if you get your qualifiers in, and then you're fighting that deadlift, you know, maybe your second attempt or your third attempt, you don't want to injure yourself. You don't want to pull something. You don't want to strain something. And then you've really got to stress about your training. So, you know, it's sometimes okay, you know, it doesn't come up and you can just leave it and walk away and be happy. Yeah. So you can fight at provincials for medals, which is great, but ultimately you're getting ready to go to nationals. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say, watching more experienced lifters, you know, either online or at the event there as well, like you see they're lifting very conservatively, and you know, like, it's just to get the numbers. Like I say, I'm a bit too stubborn. I need to sometimes calm down and take that sort of mindset.
Double chamomile.
Double chamomile. Yeah,
double chamomile, 100%. Yeah, I think it's such a thing that getting to nationals, and now what I've seen with powerlifting over the last few years, and I think I've been involved with it for nearly 2 decades in South Africa, and the growth has been amazing. We just spoke to Nicole and about Western Cape and what's happening there in that energy. 40 lifters, it's absolutely epic.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
They're about 2 years ahead of you in the energy and the development that I've seen.
Yeah.
And just, you know, what Amelia has been doing is unbelievable. what do you think it means to the guys to be coming up as a team? What does it mean to you? What do the tracksuits mean to you and to the team? I mean, such a special thing.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a good energy going there, and in my opinion, I mean, it's obviously spearheaded by Amelia. She's the one that took the initiative, and if I'm not mistaken, her goal was to have a platform for KZN lifters not having to go to Gauteng or Western Province or
Yeah.
something like that. So I mean, just having that foundation and that sort of being the main place for that to start from, it explains why it's grown so quickly over years, because it's good leadership. And I don't know everyone from the committee, but the handful of people that I do know have all got that same energy and that same vibe. My approved belt that I got now comes from one of the committee members, and little things like that. So, but it's just that everyone helps each other out like that and help
I
with
think your
equipment.
brother fought with me about that as well. Well, what's it mean? What's the difference?
Oh no,
I
no,
don't
no,
think
no, that's not my brother. No,
that
he
wasn't your
wouldn't have a
brother.
clue
There
what
was
he was
someone
talking
fighting with me about a
about.
belt. Okay.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. No, no, no. I was at least prepped for that.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
But yeah, it's this. There's definitely something special going on there, and you can see it at each event where it's just getting stronger and stronger and bigger and bigger. And also just looking at some of the talent coming through, especially with some of the juniors, and or not just that. I'd like to think some of us masters are doing pretty well
Yep,
as well.
100%.
But there's crazy stuff going on, and you can feel it at the event. Like I've been involved in different sports and the music industry and stuff, but like it's never been this comfortable before. Like for something that I've been a part of. Even an interview like this, I'm used to doing interviews. I've done a lot of interviews for music stuff, but it's always met with a lot of stress and pressure, and I haven't felt that with this so far. And even with you guys having come over for provincials,
Yeah.
none of that as well. Obviously, that was a bit, nerve-wracking at first, like, how's this going to go? What's the vibe going to be? But it's just an extended version of what Amelia's doing and growing on our side. Yeah.
100%, and she's really good with the guilt. Not that she needed a lot, but it was absolutely wonderful. We've been waiting to do this and come down and support the provinces for a long time, and we finally got to the point sort of where we're able to do that, because the provinces need to be showcased, and they need, people need to share the sport. And I think for us, it's just giving back to the lifters what they deserve, because you guys put in all the work, all the effort, all the energy, and you bring it all to that moment, and that's incredibly passionate. We took photos at Gauteng. It's something that we did for the first time. We're going to be doing that now at SA's, and we're going to put a very cost-effective package together. We're still working it out, and I'll chat to Hani about it. And then we can use some of those funds as fundraising for athletes that have an expense or can't afford to travel. So whether we do it as like a voting for someone, or that we just do it quiet. And what I'd like to do rather is do it quietly with the different provinces, with their ECs, because you don't want to showcase that someone is having financial challenges. We just want to say that's for you, and it's sorted. So that's what we're looking forward to do. And for me, I think for you with your music, I love the live streaming. We have to structure it as a story. That's what we want to do with our company, where it's showing the coaches' faces and the athletes' faces, and that. But with the photography, that's my passion and my love, and to capture that, I cannot wait. I'm sure as a musician, you'll understand. You go out and spend way too much money on gear, and
Yep, 100%.
you love it, you appreciate it, and then you look at it, what was I thinking? But yeah, so it's going to be cool. One thing, by the way, I do want to ask is the Algro has a really great little pub. So the Algro's got a swimming pool that's next to the warm-up area and the hall, and there's a grass area. You can sit and chill, and you can get a bite of food and a drink. They've got a great little pub. Are you considering bringing your guitar and maybe playing a bit? We can chat to the hotel. No pressure. Amelia's going to kill me. Don't talk to my athletes about stuff that's not lifting. So let me just plant that, and no pressure for an answer. If it's done, it's done.
Yeah,
Cool.
we can talk. We can talk.
I think
But
that'll
let's see.
be very cool.
But as far as all the other stuff you mentioned, that's a great initiative, and that yet again, that's I think something that's going to constantly draw people to
Yeah.
the sport, to your federation in particular, because yeah, it's rare. And like another thing that I especially haven't noticed yet, which is a good thing, is
Mm.
I haven't felt any form of clickiness yet. Because if
Yeah.
there's anything that will kill a sport, especially a niche sport, it's clickiness.
100%.
Yeah,
It's and there really there may have been one or two people in the past. I'm talking 15 odd years ago that stopped. Those
yeah,
people are long gone. And it's just, if I look at our executive, where you have Hani, you have Heather, you have the other guys involved at the
yeah,
highest level, and just like the different coaches, and you got Nicole and Amelia. These are volunteer jobs, and their passion and energy. I think the quality of the people in the sport choose the quality of people in the sport, if that
yeah,
makes sense. And
yeah,
we become our own sort of barrier to entry or yard fee. And
yeah,
what I found though is that's international. And
yeah.
this is the big thing. I have two questions I like to ask the lifters. What is so special about the powerlifting community to
Mm.
you? What do you think makes it so special? And why should people get into powerlifting? So, on that, before we chat about nationals, um,
Mm.
what for you is so special about the community?
Um, I think I know there's some more extreme lifters out there that don't agree with this philosophy as much, but um, the fact that there's so many different avenues in powerlifting that you can be rewarded in some way, like you can chase your own PRs, you can chase a 9 out of 9 or something like that. You don't have to be one of the top lifters to feel some kind of reward from it. I think that's something that's quite special about it. Whatever it is, maybe it's just your first meet. So there's a lot of avenues that you can really, where it becomes rewarding. Because again, as I say, if a sport doesn't seem to have a future or something for you to work towards, then why the hell are you going to do it? Why are you going to
Yeah,
beat your body up to for nothing essentially? And
absolutely.
yeah, it just seems like a good tight knit community. All the meets I've been at, people have been helpful. When I've been a bit green, and still am in many ways, there's always someone to give advice. I can, you know, ridiculously send a completely unnecessary amount of messages to people with random and weird questions, but they always, there always be a response to it and so on. Because there's a lot of technical aspects to the sports
Yeah.
and um, yeah, I've never experienced any kind of frustration or negativity like that. So yeah, so that's to answer the first part of the question. Your second part was why should
Why
people get
should
into
someone
it?
get into the
Uh,
sport? Yeah.
yeah, so sports and training, being healthy, it's good. If you're a stronger, older person, you tend to fight off diseases better, and you tend to
Yeah.
um, just live a better quality life. More skeletal muscles,
Yeah.
a older person. Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
better
Yeah,
quality of life.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is my personal training courses coming out now, but it's just like, but it is a mindset. It's be healthy, and
Yeah.
if you want to do it in a sport that's that's got a very positive vibe about it, and the big three are very good exercises anyway. If you limit it in time or something, if you maybe an older lifter and you don't have much time to get into it, those are the three you should be hitting. So you might as
Yeah.
well do a competition every now and then in between as well. Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, to live long, we need community. And so you said it's the three lifts you need, as you so rightly said.
yeah,
And there's the community around it. So
yeah.
that's one of the best answers I've gotten. Thank you.
Oh, oh, you're welcome.
That's very cool. So tell
Yeah.
us about essays. How's the training going? And what can you share with us that's not going to get us into trouble? So sort of where are you training? Are you working with a coach? How is that going for you? And
Um,
what are you looking to do at essays?
so as far as training goes, I train at the Fit 24 here under the north where I stay. They got everything I need. They could have some more squat racks in the mornings, which would be nice, but it's better than afternoons. So I'll
Yeah,
just get there
yeah,
really early and wait. Um, I must be a very irritating person to have here because I literally stand like right next to the squat rack and I wait. And then I end up being there for an hour and a half or whatever myself. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm that guy. Yeah, so training wise has been good. Don't have a coach per se. I do have a good foundation of people that have helped me a lot.
Sure. So it's the
And
community that's the coach, right?
very much,
And with
yeah,
yourself, that's
exactly.
phenomenal.
And yeah, so get a lot of good advice from people and stuff. So that's what I'm trying to work on. Work off all that information that I get from there. Training's been pretty good for the most part. The biggest thing, obviously, having provincials and nationals so close. It's a bit weird to work out the blocks in between that, but I
Yeah.
suppose we had it easier than Northwest and Gauteng. So
Yep.
yeah, we can be lucky for that.
So with
So
that, what a lot of the lifters do, sorry to interrupt,
yeah,
is you don't peak in that comp. You make that comp part of your training block.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
then you
again,
just
go
bring it through.
conservative and
Yeah.
get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the best way to do it. So yeah, but I've been dealing with a couple of I don't want to say injuries, but like just some irritating issues. It's always the shoulders.
Master one stuff.
Yeah, Master One stuff. Had some issues with my lats on the right side, and it's always every now and then some issues around the shoulder girdle, and yeah, and all that. But gotten past that mostly. The wrist that I mentioned that I injured at provincials, that's a recurring problem. It's a wrist that I broke many years ago and didn't even realize that healed funny. So working
hang on.
around
Don't
all
worry,
that.
you're not alone there. How's that?
Yeah, there we go. So ja, so ja, ons is ongeluksvols.
Yeah,
So
correct.
yeah. Um, but yeah, so I can't complain. RPE wise, it's looking pretty good and sort of on point at the moment. I do have a goal in mind that I want for this. I don't know if I'm going to hit that exact number, but I'm going to get to as close as possible. I've done every bit of research I possibly can about potentially qualifying for SA, so I know what the sort of process is, and even if I don't hit the specific total that I need, there's maybe still a chance, but I know what I need to do in that regard. So yeah, I'm trying to not think about it too much, but at the same time I do, obviously.
Yeah, non-stop.
Yeah. So it's just really working out the game plan. I don't think I have much competition, if any, in my very specific division. So that's going to be quite interesting.
Awesome. What are you lifting in? So
It's
Master One.
Master One under 74.
Okay.
So I know the under 66s are a little bit competitive. I actually was weighing up the option to drop down to under 66, but I'm glad that I decided against it because watching Enrico lift is insane. And there was another guy in Cape Town that was ridiculously good as well. So, but also the weight cut was just, I think it would have been detrimental. So, yeah, decided to stay in under 74. But yeah, that's the interesting thing about powerlifting. There's so many angles and avenues and stuff that you can approach from, and so my main thing, I suppose, is just have a good foundation, solid openers and seconds, and then maybe go for it on some of the thirds, but we'll see.
That's it. Like your first attempt is to get you into the comp. Your second attempt is the work one, and your third attempt, particularly the deadlift, is the fun one. That's what you want to play with, and just it's like that's your reward for working so hard to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely epic, man. One of the things also that I wanted to just ask you is how far are you wanting to go in powerlifting? So then coming up now, I don't know if you've met him, you'll meet Dan Oppenheim. I think I talk about Dan in every single podcast because Dan's in his 80s and, he's still lifting. He's been competing for, I think he said 60 years. He's really been doing this. You must chat to him about competing in Durban in the 80s, I think. He used to fly down in a plane down to, what's the airport just down from you guys on the beach? Virginia. And
Yeah, yeah,
he used to
Virginia is good,
fly
yeah.
down to Virginia, and then like there was one of the lifters wanted to lift back with him, and there was a bit of a storm, and like I never asked for a lift back again, in a small plane. But like amazing history of lifting as well, and that's you can compete into your 80s and 90s. One of the
Yeah.
things right that blew me away, Ryno, was World Bench in South Africa. I think it was 4 years ago. We were in Sun City. That's where we started the podcast, chatting to the athletes there. And there was a woman from Japan, 84 years old, and she benched her age.
Oh, wow. That is
So,
insane.
yeah,
Yeah.
you think about that and that sort of value,
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. So it's the most amazing sport. Is there anything sort of just as we wrap up that you would like to share or you would like to talk about? I know we mentioned a little bit about nutrition and type of eating. Anything in particular you'd like to talk about?
Just very excited for nationals. Looking forward to it. Um, I really want to spot on the SA Masters team
Yep.
because
Cape
it's in South
Town.
Africa. Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
South Africa again this year, so I want that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll have to see.
Save 80,000 Rand.
Yeah, well, there we go. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens on the platform and how prep goes, and working very hard to stay injury free and disease free and sickness free and all that.
Yeah.
But also just very excited to be part of a very special KZN team. Looking at how
Yeah.
it's grown from. I didn't know the team that went through to nationals last year, but I know it was considerably less people. So very excited to be part of this growing team and everything going on with that, and to be there with some familiar faces and not like be completely a stranger. At least we'll have a bit of a base to work with, and also to meet all the other lifters as well. Yeah. So.
I think this is a historical team that's going up, and I think people are going to look back at this and say that was the start of something special. That was this was the genesis, and this really is where the growth started, because I think it's really going to grow. And just when we were chatting, I came up with an idea, and I like to come up with questions and things to add to the podcast. So I'm going to start with you. First person I'm going to be asking this question to. Maybe it's because you were chatting about your brother. I don't know, but I'm going to ask you to, you don't have to name them, but a family member or a friend that doesn't powerlift that should get involved in powerlifting. Is there anyone that comes to mind? And would you like to call them out on the show? And then you can share this with them. Who do you think would benefit from powerlifting? Yeah. Sorry.
My wife. I'm definitely gonna, yeah, definitely gonna call her out. I've been trying for a while. Amelia has also planted one or two seeds here and there. She's got a pretty decent...
Can we chat to her quickly?
She's definitely not going to come to a camera now. But she was that thumbs up earlier. But I do help her with her training and stuff. I've been writing some programs and stuff for her, but she's got a pretty mean deadlift so far. And we were in Cape Town. When was it? It was actually just before nationals, and it was actually more the west coast of the Western Cape. And I found a little local gym there just to, I think it might have been a my deload week or whatever. And then I saw her benching there as well. And I was like, my word, like I didn't even know she could bench like this. So yeah, I think I need to get her into this. I'm trying. I'm working on it.
Guys, drop a comment below. Let's show some love and support for Ryno and his wife to get her into the We hope we're going to see you both then at Nationals next year. But Ryno, we really appreciate everything you shared with us, for taking the time, for being so flexible with your time, and for agreeing to chat so quickly. You messaged me straight back as soon as Amelia sent that message out, and that really means a great deal to me, because for the first couple of years of doing this, to get guys to come and chat on the podcast, I think now that people have seen, and it's like I'm chatting to a few people in the coming week or next week that I've been trying to get on the podcast for about 4 years. So really,
that's
thank
excellent.
you for your time, and we really appreciate it.
This was a privilege, and you've got a great platform that you work off here as well. Like it's nice to not have things hooking and
Yeah.
being all awkward and weird.
So
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah,
yeah.
chilled and easy, just headphones. But what had happened was I'd selected the wrong, a couple of months ago, I was playing around with, I've got a Rodecaster Pro, and I was playing around with some of the settings and messed it up. And I was using the wrong chat. So it should have been on chat, not on main mix, because that
Yeah.
was then giving the feed. And I know this much about audio. So it was getting my feed and your feedback on everything. So yeah, at least the audio should be nice and clean now. But your mic and your headphones are epic. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And
No
thank you for
problem.
the opportunity for this.
No,
Yeah.
Ryno, absolutely. It was absolutely phenomenal. Thank you again. And can't wait to meet you again officially in person at SAs. Thank you for your time, Ryno.
100%. Thank you.
Cheers, dude. Bye. And all right, let's switch up cameras here. So, wow, Ryno Theron, what an amazing guy. What incredible energy, and has been coaching himself and using the community to help him develop and grow as a powerlifter. We look forward to seeing his missus joining him in hopefully next SAs, and looking forward to meeting Ryno. So I forgot to ask him when he's lifting, but I'm sure the 74s are on Thursday. So, and it'll probably be where the guys will be in the afternoon after the ladies. And please do join us on the live stream. Show Ryno some love and support, particularly if you're from Natal. Such an amazing gesture, coming in and helping and supporting and getting team tracksuits. As an athlete who has gotten a national tracksuit, and I think I have to get a provincial tracksuit after like 20 years. But anyway, getting a tracksuit and going to an event in your provincial tracksuit, in your national tracksuit, it is a life-changing event. It is absolutely incredible. And for him to do that, unbelievable. That's very, very cool. And that's really what powerlifting is. It's the community supporting the community. And I'm so proud of the South African community, and seeing the amazing communities that we've gotten to interact with that are around the world, both at national level, at provincial level, at club level, at coach level. What an incredible sport. So thank you again for joining us. Let's see what we got up tomorrow. So tomorrow, 10 o'clock, we're chatting to our arm wrestlers. Can't wait for that. That's going to be phenomenal. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do a post about this. I'm chatting to the legendary Gary Williams, the legendary powerlifter, announcer, broadcaster, a phenomenal lifter himself. Absolutely over the moon about that. So if you want to hear Gary talk about his time in the sport, such insight and knowledge into powerlifting and the powerlifting community, it's something that's absolutely amazing. So I think just at the very, very top of the game and of the sport. Such an incredible person. Cannot wait to chat to him. And then, tomorrow's going to be off the hook. 6 o'clock. So chatting to the arm wrestling guys, Kenneth and Francis, at 10 a.m. South African time, 11 a.m. South Africa time is Gary. And then at 6 p.m. South African time, someone I've been working hard since World Bench in SA, Garrett Bentley, Canadian lifter, coach. And he looks like the biggest, meanest guy in the world. But those who know him, he's a puppy dog. He's the most sweet guy. He's such a caring coach. He puts his heart and soul into every athlete's lift. It's the most wonderful thing to see. And again, I can say that for all of the powerlifting coaches I've seen. But like Garrett brings an energy to the platform. It's absolutely incredible, and just an honor to have him on the show tomorrow. So we've got two legends and some fantastic arm wrestlers on the show tomorrow. Please join us. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. For Emmett Media, I'm Nicholas Single. Oos.